Welcome to the Magic Kingdom. My name is April, your guide to the magic, former cast member, and this was my home for almost 12 years. Today, I'm going to show you my method of stacking lightning lanes so you can walk into the most magical place on earth with rides ready to go so that you can enjoy a leisurely morning and maybe some time by your pool, or if you have a park hopper, start your day in one park, taking advantage of those extra early magic hours and getting a lot of rides in, and then take a break, and then you've got rides ready to go. So let me show you how I do it. But first, you're going to want to set up the free Disney Genie Day service. It's going to help you plan those lightning lanes that you want to stack. Go to your My Disney Experience account and click on the My Day tab. Then you're going to click on Get Started Now to plan your day. Here is where you're going to select the day that you want to plan, click Continue, and then the park. Next, it will have you confirm your party, and then after that, it will show you all of the rides that you can select from to plan your day. If you're using the free service, this is just the way for it to give you recommendations, so you're not going to want to select all of them. But for me, I'm using it because every one that I select, those rides will show up at the top of my tip board when selecting my lightning lane times. If you want just a couple to start with, go ahead and just pick your top two. But I'm going through and selecting them all because it's really not that much to scroll through. Now, coming up is Tron. I want to purchase that with an individual lightning lane because that's really the only time to guarantee that you get to ride at night since I'm coming later in the day. So I highlight that, but I'm really going to end up purchasing that. All right, all of these other things, super fun to do character visits, but I'm not going to highlight them. I'm going to keep skipping for now because I'm just choosing the rides that I want to show up on my tip board. So I'm going to tap through everything, and it's going to help create my best Disney day, and another little pop-up will come up and I'll just close out of that. But what I want to show you is the tip board and how what I just did will help you plan your lightning lane selection. So it's going to generate, and now you can see everything that I selected is at the top of my tip board because these are the ones that I want to focus on when it's time to select my lightning lanes. But before I show you my planning in action, I want to talk about what to prioritize when you're planning your Disney day. If you want to get into one of Disney's virtual queues for one of the newest rides, that is going to be your top priority at 7 a.m. because those will be gone in seconds. So if that is something you're wanting to do, that should be your number one. Next should be your selection of your 7 a.m. lightning lane. And as soon as you make that, you're going to want to purchase your individual lightning lanes if that's something you want to utilize in your day. Just a quick note about individual lightning lanes. You actually don't need to purchase Genie Plus in order to purchase an individual lightning lane for a ride that you want to choose your time for. And that is another difference. With Genie Plus service, you get the times that they give you, and you can try to finagle that with modifying. But with purchasing an individual lightning lane, you can actually select the time that you want. Now, the earlier you purchase that, the more time options there are because those can sell out as well. And I really want to ride Tron. And of course, I could try for the virtual queues, but I'm not guaranteed when that return time will be. And I'm trying to be as efficient as I can with my evening planning. So I'm going to utilize the individual lightning lane and select the exact time that I want later in the evening so I can ride in the dark. Because honestly, that is the best time to ride. So as soon as I have my lightning lane selected at 7 a.m., I immediately go and purchase my individual lightning lane for Tron so I can have my pick of the times to return. Because they do sell out and you may not have as much options of when you can return if you wait later to purchase it. Now that I've explained the order that I do things in, let's get back to the Magic Kingdom where I talk more about the modification process and how I stack my lightning lanes in a way that's most efficient so I'm not jumping all across the park. Now, someone in your party will have to get up at 7 a.m. to start the stacking process, which is unfortunate because you might want to sleep in, but it is well worth that wake up time to have your day set and feel stress-free, not worrying about waiting in long lines.
I will set my alarm for 6:45 to make sure I can confirm everybody in the party that's going to be using the Genie Plus service for the day and make my purchase so I'm ready to go at 7 a.m. Here in the Magic Kingdom, you're going to want to go for the rides that the times will run out faster. That is Peter Pan and Jungle Cruise. Those two are going to go quickly. So if you want to be able to ride those are the ones you're going to want to focus on first. So for me, it was a toss-up. So I chose Peter Pan's flight. Now, I'm not going to be into the park till later on. So the time that it's giving me is not the one that I want to have. And so my method involves modifying. Once you've made your selection, you can try to modify as often times as you want with a particular ride that you have. All you have to go is tap on your selection, click modify, and then you can see the time that's available. Sometimes it might be before the time that you currently have. So all I do is pull down on my screen to refresh it and see what available times might pop up. This is really the game that I play most of the day to get the specific times that I want. Now, you can use the Genie Plus service at the start of your day and book as early as you can, and then when you tap into a ride, you'll make another one and just keep going throughout your day that way. But I love the stacking method where I just spend my leisurely day stacking rides, and then that way I don't have to really look at my phone for times once I'm in the park because I have all my rides ready to go. Since the park today opened at 8 o'clock, I knew that my next selection would be 2 hours after park open. So for me, that would be 10. So make sure you pay attention to what time the park opens during your visit. You can make your first one at 7 a.m. and then 2 hours after the park opens. So I set my alarm for 9:59 so I wouldn't miss it. So whether you're in the park or relaxing at your resort, make sure you set that alarm because it's really easy to miss that time because time just flies by when you're at Disney World. Now, before that even happened, I was keeping an eye on Jungle Cruise because the times were so close to each other. And I was debating about switching to Jungle Cruise because those were going a little bit quicker. Because I was watching that time, I made the decision to modify my Peter Pan's flight to Jungle Cruise to the 5 to 6 o'clock window. And that was perfect for us because we actually have a early dinner reservation at Tony's Town Square restaurant. So after we eat, we're gonna head to Jungle Cruise and make our way around the park. One of the things I love about modifying is that I can do my best to finesse my times so that I'm not crossing back and forth across the park. I like to be as efficient as possible with my time here at Disney. Then when the 10 o'clock time rolled around for me to book another one, I booked Peter Pan's flight. So now I have to play the modification game and push that time back, and I was able to do that and grab a 5:45 to 6:45. So I'm gonna keep doing that as the day goes on. Since the last time I made my selection was at 10 a.m., the next time I can do it is at noon, and so I set my alarm for 11:59 so that I don't miss that selection. When that comes around, I'm gonna look at my list of rides that I have highlighted, and I'm gonna select the ride that has the furthest time out because that's gonna go quicker than the other ones. Once I do that, if I need to keep modifying it to the window that I need, I'll refresh and then select it. Now keep in mind, when you refresh, sometimes it's gonna give you an earlier time, sometimes it's gonna give you a later time, and even when you select a time you think you want, make sure you pay attention to the next screen where it's gonna want you to confirm the time, because sometimes it switches, which can be pretty frustrating when you're really excited that you see a time that you want, and then you go to the next screen where it confirms it and it's a different time. So all you have to do is X back out, refresh, and hopefully you can get that time again. So I'm not actually in my resort relaxing like you should be doing when you're stacking your lightning lanes. I'm actually doing a little bit of work, so that works perfect for me. I'm getting some work done today while I'm stacking my lightning lanes, so when I'm done, I can relax and just come into the park and enjoy the rides that I've set up. I'm actually going to do a walking tour right now from the Magic Kingdom over to the Grand Floridian for my transportation series. Now, that doesn't seem like transportation using your feet, but I like to show how to get around the parks and resorts using transportation or fun walking paths. And so make sure you stay tuned for that video. But all right, I'm gonna keep you posted along the way and then bring you back tonight as we ride all these fun rides. So I finished finished my filming and I decided I was going to hop on over to Epcot, grab some lunch, go back to my resort and relax for a little bit, but I am still stacking lightning lanes. So I've got one coming up in just a couple minutes, and I'm going to grab some lunch and just keep going. You guys, I love stacking lightning lanes. It's just so great. Again, knowing that when I go to Magic Kingdom later, I'm going to have a ton of rides just to walk right on.
So my noontime rolled around while I was having lunch here at the Sunshine Pavilion, and I wanted to grab my next lightning lane. As I'm looking at my list, I want to grab the time that is showing the latest. So just kind of browsing. It looks like Big Thunder is going to be the latest time. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab that one and make my confirmation, click on continue, and view in my day. So I will scroll back down in my day just to kind of see where it lands. And I know it's definitely not where I want it to be. I want it later in the day. And so I'll scroll down, tap on it again because I want to see if I can modify it. Even though I've just made it, it's still possible. So you can see now it says 2:45. Let's see if I can get it a different time. I'm going to swipe down. Oh, it jumped to 2:05. Let's swipe down again, back to 2:45, back to 2:40. So I just keep doing that. 2:45, I'm just going to grab it. I know it's only 5 minutes difference, so I'm just going to grab it to show you. But basically, that's what I do. I will grab a later time and just keep pushing it back until I can find the spot that I need it to make my day the most efficient that I can. My 2 o'clock alarm went off, so I'm going to check my times here. As you can see, I still haven't pushed Big Thunder back enough, but I need to pick a new one. So let's go to the tip board and see what's available. Haunted Mansion is at 4:20, Pirates 2:35, Space 3:15. So I'm going to be grabbing that Haunted Mansion. Confirm. 4:20 to 5:20 was looking good, so I'm going to go back to view my day and see how everything is looking. So I've got my restaurant reservation at 4:15. Haunted Mansion, I'm going to be pushing back because in terms of walking around the park, we want to do that after we do Big Thunder. And so we've got Jungle Cruise, and Peter Pan's Flight's going to be like at the end. So we want to do Jungle Cruise, Pirates, Big Thunder, Haunted Mansion, and then Peter Pan's Flight. So as I'm stacking them, I'm trying to get them in that order. And so I'm just going to go up here and look at my Big Thunder. I want to see if I can push it back by a half an hour. So we've got 4:25 to 5:25. I'm going to click modify. And 4:55, that's fantastic. It's about a half an hour. So I'm going to hopefully change it to this time and see if it stayed. 4:55 to 5:55, that is perfect. Confirm that change and then click done. And now I'm going to go back and just see if I can modify Haunted Mansion at this point. So now I want to get my Haunted Mansion just beyond that. So maybe, into that 5 to 6 range. So let me click on that. I'm going to click modify. And it's only 5 minutes later, but I'm going to pull it down and see if anything later comes up. If it doesn't, I'm going to just grab that one and keep pushing that back. So confirm that change. And so I have them all here. Now I want to kind of talk about the order just a little bit. So you can see my Jungle Cruise is from 5 to 6. Our dining will probably last until about 5, so I want to give myself a little bit of a buffer to get onto Jungle Cruise. And it's a little bit longer of a ride as well. What I love is that they can overlap. So Jungle Cruise from 5 to 6. If we got off at 5:30 or 5:45, I can still get into my Big Thunder time because that goes until 5:55. Then I need some time to walk over to Haunted Mansion. And so that's why I need to keep trying to bump that particular one back. So it's kind of nice to have them overlapping. That way you can go from one to the other. So until my next lightning lane selection at 4 o'clock, I'm going to keep trying to move back my Haunted Mansion.
to get in between Big Thunder and my Peter Pan flight, which you can see is 5:45 to 6:45. So if I can get Haunted Mansion, you know, from 5:45 to 6:45, just like Peter Pan's flight, that would be perfect. So let's see what we get in just a little bit. I am walking into this park with 4 stacked lightning lanes and 1 individual lightning lane that we purchased, because that's the really only way to guarantee to ride Tron Light Cycle Run at night. You can attempt to do the 7 a.m. virtual queue, but you're gonna get a time during the day, or if you wanna wait till the 1 p.m., you just never know when you're gonna get it. So we decided to purchase an individual lightning lane, so we have 5 rides coming in right now. And in about a half an hour, I can book my next one. So people are leaving. You can see the parade just ended. We're gonna have dinner, and we're gonna have a relaxing night just riding some rides. So come along with me as I continue to stack, but also ride some rides. 4 o'clock, and it's time to book my next lightning lane. So let's see what we have. All right, Pirates at 3:30. Space Mountain is later, so that's the one we want to grab. So hopefully we can get Pirates in a little bit, or even do a walk-on. So let's grab Space Mountain. We just had a lovely meal, but while we were eating, both Pirates and Space Mountain went down, which means because we had lightning lanes for those, we got redemption times. So we had to book something else. We grabbed Buzz, but we're hoping that the other 2 come up at some point. But until then, we're just gonna keep going with our plan. So be aware that sometimes that can happen. And then you'll get an individual redemption that you can use at one of the selected rides that they say you can use it at. So we are walking down Main Street with 7 rides ready to go. And then we can keep booking more as the evening goes on when our window comes up. So stacking lightning lanes is the way to do it if you want to have a relaxing day and come into the parks late in the evening, especially in the summertime when it's not as hot.
And fill it in. What that makes it Skipper Casper, you are fired.
They got all your fish needs. If you're hungry for fish, of course. I think they got salmon, piranha. Oh, but what they're really known for is their snake surprise. Yeah. Ah! Surprise! Yeah. Surprise! 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 Going on over here, guys. I have no idea about what they did to that sheep. Oh my God! They painted it blue. That's disgusting. At least it's probably his last day. If you know what I mean. Hey, Felix! Everything is not left down. Guys, I don't think he heard me, but I'm sure he's gonna get the point in the end. Or not. What a rhino. Did you know that most of them suffer from short-term memory loss? Me and those guys have a lot in common. Right over here we've got some margarine flies. So they're actually called margarine flies because I can't believe it's not butterflies. Oh my goodness, look at that monkey up there. He's covered in margarine flies. You guys want to hear a fun fact about monkeys? Did you know that most of them suffer from short-term memory loss? Yeah. Me and those guys have a lot in common. There it is! Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the 8th wonder of the world, the backside of water! Yes! Woo! Yeah! Backside of water! Yes! Okay guys, calm down, it's not that exciting. Why are we yelling? It's kind of weird, guys. All right.
So unfortunately, Pirates is still down. And you know that just because when you see a lot of cast members out front, it's just to let everybody know. So we're gonna move on to our next lightning lane, Big Thunder. How about that? When you come off Big Thunder, and it's windy, but prepare for your hair to be windblown. Super fun ride. Now, we are cutting it close to the end time. Peter Pan's flight and Haunted Mansion are the same window. We're gonna actually be not as efficient as I'd like to be. Bypass Haunted Mansion just a little bit to jump onto Peter Pan, and then we'll come back and do Haunted Mansion, because Haunted Mansion is longer, so we'll get on and off quick on Peter Pan and then do Haunted Mansion.
So they're coming up now.
So in my efficient brain, we should be going left right now to head to Haunted Mansion. Sometimes you have to go with the flow and your plans might change. So we're just gonna go through this little bypass here, and Peter Pan will be on our right, and then we'll come back to Haunted Mansion. Peter Pan always has a long line all day long, so let's see what it's at currently. We're at 60 minutes, which technically isn't that bad. But we don't want to wait that long, so we're going to use our lightning lane. So there's an unspoken rule that you can go 5 minutes prior to your lightning lane time and 15 minutes past. So if you're running a little bit late, or if you get there a little bit early, you can enter the line 5 minutes prior and get into the lane 15 minutes after your window time. So just keep that in mind if you're running a little bit late or your time is off.
And off we go!
Ride is such a classic. You need to experience it. It's magical, but it is not worth a really long wait. So either do it first thing in the morning or get a lighting lane using the Genie Plus service. So, all right, we are heading to our next lighting lane, which is over at Haunted Mansion. I haven't been out in a while. I think I've seen Hatbot boats once. So let's go ride Haunted Mansion.
and I'm
just
telling
the
you
last
that
line of defense.
yeah, I'm telling you that I'm not having enough time with the fact that you two are doing it.
So as you exit, there is a photo pass opportunity here. So not when you're entering, but as you come off the ride right there, you can get your picture taken. You do bypass like the interactive garden area when you do Lightning Lane, and that's often true for most Lightning Lanes. You'll miss some part of the queue, but I still think it's worth it.
Please gather around the giant fire to your left.
In this area, you're gonna wait here until one of the doors opens, and then I'm gonna let you know a little trick.
When Mrs. Creek indoors
There are two rooms, so one to the right and one to the left. Depending on which one opens, all right, so if we're going left, we're actually gonna wanna stand over here.
In the middle, we have others dying to join you. All in, all the way over.
So you wanna stand under the ballerina because that's the door that's gonna open to the ride. Gets you on a little bit quicker.
paintings of you sense a disquieting metamorphosis. Is this haunted room actually stretching?
I'll be back.
Or is it your imagination?
My bad.
And consider this dismaying observation. This chamber has no windows and no doors. Which offers you this chilling challenge to find a way out. Of course, there's always my way. Oh, I didn't mean to frighten you prematurely. The real chills come later. Now, as they say, look alive and we'll continue. Please, spirits are frightfully sensitive to brightness.
Okay, so as I got off, it was time to book another one, and I was able to book a Buzz Lightyear for 7 o'clock, so from 7 to 8. But as we are passing by Pooh, we have a redemption Lightning Lane to use. And so we're just going to tap into that. So in total, we're going to be doing 7, plus our Tron is 8. And the night's not even over. There's more rides we could use our Lightning Lane for. So far, so good.
Under Maplewood, the East Wind traded places with Wednesday.
If you ask me, he'll never reach that tree.
Honey,
Oh, yes, yes. If I were saying, my Aunt Clara went to visit her cousin. Now, her cousin was not only gifted on the college field, but 40 years in HR. Come, Tigger. Come bounce with me. Bounce makes this just great, doesn't it? Hooray for cool, too. That's not the part I was on with.
We had a little bit of time before our next lightning lane, and so we decided to do a little pit stop in Storybook Circus because they had some new elephant by Sensi's, and they're decorated like cotton candy and gumballs, and then you can smell it. So we just did a quick pit stop of that, but now we're heading into Tomorrowland to ride our next 3 rides. There is a little bypass in the back of Storybook Circus, kind of near the train station. Just keep walking back and this path will take you into Tomorrowland. Underneath Tron, which is pretty cool. Let's see if we can watch one go by. And when we go on this, it's gonna be all lit up and it's gonna be super fun. All right, let's see. I can't wait to ride that. Now, if you want to not have to pay for it and do a virtual queue, make sure you check out my video where I talk about how I get 2 virtual queues in one day and the methods I use to secure a virtual queue. I have never not got a virtual queue with methods that I've done. In fact, I helped a client recently and I got boarding group number 1. Now, that may not be ideal if you don't want to wake up early, but make sure you check out that video. I'll leave it in my comments below if you want to know how to secure your own virtual queue for Tron or Guardians of the Galaxy. This is a video about lightning lanes, but I also do videos about hidden Mickeys, and I'll give you a little preview. It's a little silhouette. So when you're in line for them, you can keep your eye out for all the little hidden Mickeys or Easter eggs that can be in the ride. All right, let's head to Space Mountain.
And remember that passengers in wheelchairs must transfer into a rocket to participate in this launch. Thank you, and enjoy your flight.
This is why you look like that. It is hard when you have larger groups to justify the Genie Plus. But if you can go into it knowing that you really want to budget that into your trip, even for a couple of days, it really is worth your time. which is great. Now, I could have booked another lighting lane. It's time to do that. We have to fly out in the morning. Park opens until 11 o'clock tonight. So technically, we could have booked maybe 2 to 3 more lighting lanes, like the lesser, slower wait time ones. So that's like, we for sure did 9 rides in 3 hours, which is amazing. But we could have done more. So I think it was a pretty successful night, and I love that we're ending on Tron. That's right, I just wish it was a little bit longer. So there's going to be 2 separate areas. You've got the lighting lane side and the virtual queue side. Lightning lane, you basically get to walk straight through. Virtual queue, you return during your window time, but then you're going to have to wait depending on how backed up it is. Up ahead there are some test vehicles, and I do recommend just trying them out if you are concerned at all. Myself, it's really more about your calf size than it is your girth, like around your waist. There's a metal bar that actually goes over your calf when you pull the handlebars towards you. So it can pinch if you've got a little bit larger calves. So definitely test it out, because you don't want to have to get on the ride and have them get you off if it doesn't work. So this gets pulled back, and you can see this bar right here comes over your calf. So you're gonna want to make sure that this works to hold you in. So test it out here before you get to the actual ride, because this really is the factor of whether or not you can ride.
Into the world of Tron. For your safety in this world, all users should be in good health. You should be free from high blood pressure, heart, back, or neck problems. You should be free
Oh my God.
You're going to need to put everything into a locker. They don't allow filming on this ride because you could drop something on a guest below, because it does go over walkways. There is a little compartment you can put your phone into, but anything larger is going to be going into a locker that you'll retrieve at the end.
Locker space that your party requires. Remember your unit number. Tron Light Cycle Run is a thrilling, high-speed roller coaster type ride in the dark, making sharp turns with sudden drops and stops. For your safety, remain seated on your light cycle at all times. Remember to kneel, lean, and pull the handlebars towards you. Supervise young Team Blue users at all times. The competition begins when Team Blue launches across the upload conduit and onto the grid. Your opponents will meet you there.
ride that I always kindly ask if I can wait for row one. There's no better way to experience it with no obstruction in front of you. If you're willing to wait a little bit longer, just kindly ask the cast member if you can wait for row one.
Prepare for Team Blue Light Cycle Run up close.
Tron. Best way to end the night. Woo. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope it helped you out to know how to plan your day so you can have a relaxing morning or spend some time at another park while you're stacking lightning lanes and you can just walk right in and enjoy your evening. If you want to check out my other video for Hollywood Studios where I did the same thing, shared the method with you, let me know if you end up stacking lightning lanes and how many you end up getting. Please like and subscribe to my channel. It would help me out immensely. Thank you so much for watching and we'll see you next time.